about those areas. I will tell you shortcuts, tricks to understand some of the major sections. I will tell you what are the important sections. How can you handle those sections? I'll talk about all this. Becker or Wiley, which study material? Unfortunately, both of these materials are written at a very, very advanced level. Both of these materials are written at a very advanced level, and both of it are very, very new in the industry. I'm not very sure if you are aware, but Becker launched its first books for CPA, for CMA in the year 2021. And incidentally, Wiley also launched its first book in the year 2021 for CMA. Sir, earlier also Wiley was there. Yes, earlier also Wiley was there, but it was just printing the book. It was not writing the book. All right. In other words, before 2021, the books that was published by Wiley, it was written by IMA. I can show you the copyright, entire copyright of the Wiley book was owned by IMA, but now it is not the case. So Wiley has written the first book on CMA in 2021, means this year. This year is the first publication of Wiley as well as Becker for CMA. I will talk about it. I will talk about all of it. I will talk about all of this. Don't worry, you are at the right place. I'm certainly going to talk about everything that is important, that you must know, and everything that you should be doing right to ensure that your success in CMA is almost guaranteed. You can use NorthStar book. That is more than enough. Glam book is a reference book. Glam book is a reference book. So I don't think it is a problem at all. But Glam software is very, very important because it has huge question bank for practice. Padma, can we start? Padma is the coordinator for this webinar. How many of you are already pursuing CMA? Can I have a answer? Yes, me, like that. How many of you are already pursuing CMA? All right. You can tell me which section do you think is a major challenge, so that I can talk about those sections in particular. Which section as per you is a major challenge? Which section do you think is very, very confusing? And I will tell you how do you handle that section. Section C of part 2 or part 1? So please mention that section C of part 2. All right. I will talk about it. Any other section? Corporate finance. All right. Any other section? I'll tell you how do you build it. All sections. All section is a great answer, but unfortunately, I don't think that is how it should be. Then internal control. Okay. Section D. All right. And which section do you want? Most of you are taking which section? Section 1 or section 2? Which one do you think I should, or part 1 or part 2? So which one do you think I should talk about? Part 1, part 2, part 2. Okay. Very quickly, come on, very quickly. Part 2. So there seems to be a tie there in part 1 and part 2. Okay, part 2 seems to be winning. Okay, part 1. Chalo, let's I will keep taking those feedbacks and we will talk about this. I'll tell you the strategy. I'll tell you what things you can do it right, so that your preparation from the very beginning are going in the right direction. Hello everyone, good afternoon and welcome to NorthStar. today in this very exciting webinar, I'm going to talk about the important things, the important topics that you cannot miss out at all. And most importantly, what is expected out of you in the exam. Is it memory? Is it conceptual clarity? Is it in-depth understanding of the concept? What is something that you should be focusing upon so that your CMA journey remains smooth, exciting, and of course, successful? But before I begin, let me very briefly introduce myself today for this webinar. My name is M. Irfat. I'm a chartered accountant. I'm a CMA. I'm a CIMA. I hold another 4 degrees in finance and management accounting. I've been training students for over 2 decades now and have taught successfully more than 15,000 plus students. In this long teaching career, I have seen everything. I've seen students succeeding. I've seen students achieving what they aspire to be. I've seen students growing in this long teaching career, and that is what excites me. I'm a passionate teacher, and I've been teaching because this is what I love to do. I was working also with one of the world's largest oil company as a finance manager, but then I decided to pursue my passion for teaching, and here I am with you for this webinar. Do I teach CMA? I teach CMA, I teach CPA, I teach many ACCA, I teach CA final, I teach many other courses, but my specialization lies in finance and management accounting and areas of financial reporting particularly for CPA. That's my specialization. Any course that deals with these areas, I am at the hem of it, whether it is financial modeling, whether it is any other course, as long as it deals with finance and management accounting and FAR, I am the person who's going to take this. Let's get started. Now, today in this webinar, I'm going to talk about what are the important areas, what are the important topics, sections that you must cover up, and you must understand them quite clearly, not just from passing exam perspective, but also from cracking interviews. These are some of the areas which are constantly being tested at your interviews as well. So passing, definitely it is going to be certain if you have practiced this, but at the same time, securing a good job for yourself is also an important thing that you must focus on. Over the past, most of my students have come back and said the conceptual clarity has helped me crack many crack interviews at most companies, and they were able to choose the company, the job that they were looking forward to, because it was easy for them to break through the interview line. The bottom line is not just taking CMA as the objective of passing, but also something that is conceptual, something that is important, and something that is going to go a long way in your professional journey. At the end of this webinar, I'm going to give out some exciting tips, and also a very important document which is going to give you a complete guidance as what are the important things that you must do so that your CMA becomes smooth. Particularly one hack doc which I'm going to take you through. This is a hack doc which I want to take you through, which is very important. CMA exam hack doc, pass at your first go. These have certain tricks, certain tips that will help you pass the CMA exam, handle the MCQ questions, and handle the case study questions. So in total, it has 14 hacks that can help you plan your last moment for the exam. Let's get started. Were you working with Aramco? No, answer is no. I was working with Shell Aviation. All right, we were into aviation fueling, Let's get started. Is it a live webinar? Answer is yes, it is live on Zoom, and it is also live on YouTube. Let's begin with part 2, because a lot of students said part 2, but that does not mean that I'm not going to cover up part 1. I'm going to touch upon both part 1 and part 2. If you want me to go in a sequence and touch upon part 1, I'm perfectly fine with this. Now, let's begin with part 1 so that we go in the sequence. Now, part 1 and part 2 both has how many sections in total? Both has 6 sections. So you have 6 sections in part 1, you have 6 sections in part 2. And like most of you must be aware that you can write part 1 exam first and then write part 2, or vice versa. You can write part 2 first and then come to part 1. It's completely your choice how you want to take it. So I want your advice. How do you suggest us to go forward with the CMA exam? In my opinion, and I always suggest that if you have the option, if you have the flexibility, then always opt for part 2 first, because part 2 has much lesser syllabus, content is less, and it is a very, very exciting syllabus. Part 1, on the other hand, has a little detailed syllabus, little more, not little more, almost 30% more coverage is to be done. Understanding has to be there, and there are lot of theoretical topics also included in part 1. Sometimes because of these concepts, because of these detailing, part 1 becomes a little more complex because of the amount of time that you need to invest. But that's completely your choice. In terms of success rates, part 1 and part 2 has almost very, very similar success rates. In terms of sequencing, sir, if I do part 2 first, if I don't do part 1, will I understand part 2? Or if I do part 1 first without doing part 2, will I understand part 1? These questions are there from infinite number of students. Let me tell you, at least about me, when I teach part 1 or when I teach part 2 first, I ensure that whatever understanding you have to have for the other part is taught while I am teaching the other part. Sounds confusing? Let me tell you, when you study part 1, there are a lot of concepts of part 2 which you should know in part 1. You should know in part 1, because otherwise part 1 cannot be fully understood with concepts of part 2 without understanding them. So what I do is, those concepts of part 2 I bring in part 1 and teach as if it is part of part 1. Or similarly, some concepts of part 1 which you need to know to understand part 2 properly, I include those concepts in part 2 so that you learn them all. If you have already studied part 1, good, but most likely you may have forgotten. So that's why I do this. So at least with me, it is never going to be a challenge whichever part you are learning first, because I take care of all that. Now, coming to the syllabus of part 1. Part 1, like I said, it has 6 sections: external financial reporting decisions, planning, budgeting, forecasting, performance management, cost management, internal controls, and technology and analytics. Now, these two are purely theoretical. Those of you who love theory, you can go for these 2 topics directly. If you don't love theory, you still have to cover those 2 topics. Question is, what is the best strategy to choose from? I always suggest all my students to take up a practical and theory simultaneously. Means some topics of practical, some topics of theory, mix it together so that it becomes easy and you feel comfortable handling them. Going through all the theory together is going to bring that additional boredom and pressure on you of covering so much theory. So the best option is cover a practical and a theoretical part. It is not important that you go in the right, in the order in which the content is provided, A, then B, then C. No, not at all. It is not important at all. You can mix and match how you feel you are able to follow up. Particularly if you ask me, how do? I always mix a practical and theory so that I get the best of both. I remain motivated all throughout the learning process. But first, cost management is a very important topic. Though the percentage is low, it is an important topic. It's practical and it is very interesting. Performance management, planning, budgeting, forecasting, you can go with this topic. It has a huge number of sections or topics, but it is comparatively easy. Performance management is broadly a mixture of practical and theory, but it is comparatively easier. At the end, I always suggest, always take up section A at the end. Always take up section A at the end. Why? Because section A has two parts, part 1 or topic 1 and topic 2. Topic 2 is hugely vast, Sometimes I call it unnecessarily vast. In fact, you will be surprised to know that topic 2 of CMA covers almost 60% of the CPA syllabus. Almost 60% of the CPA syllabus it covers. Only one topic covers. Imagine one paper of CPA is almost getting covered in one topic of CMA. So if you are aspiring to do CPA, yes, this is a very interesting topic. It will help you pursue or perform better in your CPA. But otherwise, this topic, all these are also there in CPA. So if you are planning tomorrow for CPA, these topics are very, very useful for you because later on it will help you. Like I said, section A, keep it at the last, but topic 1 you can always complete. So topic 2, should I just keep it at the extreme last? Answer is no. The best way to do topic 2 is take up some part of it every alternate day. Rather than thinking that I'm going to cover entire topic 2 together, take up one part of this every alternate day, every second day, every third day, some part of it, because it is the longest section in your longest topic in your syllabus, covering almost approximately 100 plus pages. At least in my material, it is 100 plus pages because it's very detailed and it is very important that you have a very good understanding of financial statement. So my advice is take up this topic slowly, one part. I have broken this entire topic into many subparts. Take up one subpart as you grow, but do not try to complete this. It is going to take a huge amount of time. Section B is important, though it has a lot of topics in it. Each of these topics are very, very small and very simple, except forecasting techniques. If you want to study forecasting technique, please ensure that your statistics knowledge is good. Your statistics knowledge is good. When I say statistics knowledge is good, that does not mean you need to know or you need to become a statistician overnight. No, not at all. My advice is whenever you go to this topic, whenever you find some terminology being used, go to YouTube and check out what does each of those terminology mean. Many students I see trying to understand forecasting techniques without having any knowledge of terms used in statistics. As a teacher, it is sometimes very difficult to go to these very basic terms like mean, median, summation. These are very, very basic. Summation. Do I need to teach what the summation means? No, these are very, very basic. But sometimes I have seen students asking these very basic questions because it's okay that they may not know. So my advice is please go to YouTube, learn about each of these terms: dispersion, deviation, correlation, regression. These are some of the terms. Unless you know these terms, this entire topic is very difficult to understand, and it is very well tested in exam. Very well tested in exam. Because examiners know that this particular topic does not go very smooth with the students. So please go to YouTube, read about dispersion, read about correlation, read about regression. 5 minutes of investment, and you will understand what does these terminology mean actually. All right, so please take the help of YouTube for this, because it will not embarrass you in the class, because you may land up asking something very, very basic. There's no question of being embarrassed in my class, at least, because I welcome those questions, but having a basic understanding is going to go a long way. So before you start studying this topic, please ensure that you are aware of each of these terminology. Otherwise, this topic is pretty simple and easy to handle. 20%, if you can secure for yourself, you have done a major part, because section B looks pretty big. At least in mind, it looks pretty big. 6 topics. Oh my God, that's too much. Section C is one of the most complex topic. It is one of the most complex topic in your syllabus. Let me repeat, and I can tell you many, many times, it is one of the most complex topic in your syllabus, particularly topic 1. Anyone who has done section C, topic 1, do you agree with me that it is one of the complex topic? Anyone who has done section C of topic of part 1 who agrees? None of you have done it? All right. So this is about standard costing. If you know this term, this is standard costing. Anyone who has studied this subject or this topic called standard costing will agree that this is a very, very complex topic. But complex because most of us try to memorize the formula. We just try to memorize the formula. If you don't memorize the formula and if you understand the formula, this is going to be very, very simple. Sir, how is it possible not to memorize and remember the formula just by understanding? I have done it in the past and I keep doing it in the future as well. I'll keep doing it in the future as well, that no memory at all. In none of my class, I use memory to understand any formula. There are at least 50 to 60 formulas to be understood in this topic itself. Imagine 50 to 60 formula is going to be really, really crazy. But you have to understand and you need to be able to solve the question. If you take the help of memory, you will just remember the formula. You will not have the practical experience or practical application of these formulas. I always advise, ensure that you understand the formula, because CMA is about practical application. It is not about memory. And here is where most students go wrong. They try to memorize the formula instead of having a conceptual understanding of that formula. If you want to know how to understand, I can take a session and help you. How do you ensure that you do not forget any of these formulas and have the practical understanding of them? Section D again is a very, very important topic. It is little detailed, but it is simple. It is important because it is simple that you can do. Is it very important from exam point of view? Answer is costing system overhead is very, very important from exam point of view. Other than this, all the others are theoretical topic. There's nothing much to be done except the costing system and overhead. Overhead particularly because you can certainly expect questions from this area. All right, so overhead is a very, very important topic because questions certainly will be tested from this area. Costing system is also good. Supply chain management, business process improvement, measurement concept, these are very, very fundamental. A patient study, one day studying of these concepts will help you get a good score in these exams or these parts. Section E is purely theoretical. Some of you may hate it because it deals with something of technology. If you don't like technology, if you're somebody like me who love technology but don't like reading about about computers, about controls, about this, then you may not like it. Otherwise this section is little dry but easy to handle. It is dry but easy to handle. My suggestion would be, do not, any topic which is dry, please do not jump in to learn all of it together at one stretch. We have a habit, we will start with topic 1, and until topic 1 is completed, we are not going to go to another topic. We have this habit. What my advice is, start with topic 1, read 3 pages, 4 pages of this, go to another interesting topic, do that, come back to this topic, go to another topic, come back to this topic. Ultimately, over a period of time, over maybe 3 days or 4 days, you will be able to complete. But if you try to complete entire topic at just one stretch, means I will finish topic 1, then only I will go to the next topic, it is not the right way of handling. Because you are going to be so bored that you will not study anything. Idea is to utilize the time to the best of your capability. You are not enjoying this one, go to the next one which you enjoyed, come back to this one. Again, take a break, come back to this one. It is possible. It is not very detailed. It is possible. It is very small section. Section F, though looks very big, there are 4 topics. It's very small section, very small section, hardly around 20 pages in total. 20 pages, and you are getting 15% of the marks. Isn't that exciting? That's so good. 20 pages. It's like each page has approximately 1% marks. Each page is approximately 1% marks. It's so exciting. It's very small, but again, what student try to do is, again, same logic. I will start with topic 1. Unless I have finished topic 1, I'm not going to study anything else. I'll start with topic 2. Unless I finish topic 2, I'm not going to study anything else. Again, you are missing out big time. You're missing out big time. Start with topic 1 or topic 2 or any topic of your choice. If you want to go in sequence, no, nothing wrong with that at all. So start with anything, but keep hopping, keep jumping, keep going to something which excites you, and then keep coming back to here till you are done. But at one sitting, if you are trying to complete entire information system, it will be just completed in just completed for the sake of completion. When you look at MCQ question, you'll be like, I'm not able to solve it, because you have just completed for the sake of it. You have not put your efforts, you have not put your thoughts, you have not got a clear understanding of it. So my advice, please do not jump in and try to complete everything at one go. Take it very slow. Mix it with all other topics, because this is the driest topic in your syllabus. You will end up crying after reading 2-3 topics. You'll be like, so boring. Oh my God, so boring. So please ensure that you are not going to all these 4 topics just like that at one stretch, because it's a boring and dry. But in terms of marks, it has huge marks. 15% just with 20 topics or 20 pages. It's quite exciting. Actually, think about it. It's quite exciting. So overall, I can tell you, section A, the biggest mistake that you can do in planning is keep section F at the end. This is the biggest mistake. Don't keep section F at the end, because it's very dry. You'll feel very disappointed studying the entire section F. Mix it with other sections. The second biggest mistake that you can do is starting with section A first. Starting with section A. So don't do these 2 mistakes. Starting with section A is the biggest mistake, and ending with section F is another biggest mistake. Don't do these 2. Other than that, you will find part 1 comfortable to handle. Put good amount of efforts into section B, put good amount of efforts into section C, because these are practical sections. These are very frequently tested in the exam. All right, so this is my strategy about it. Section D, like I said, section D is a mixture of practical and theoretical. You can begin with these 2 sections and it will help you. Most of you, if you are coming from commerce background, measurement concept is something that you will know. By default, you will know. Business process improvement, even if you do not know, one reading of it will give you a complete idea about it. All right, so this is my strategy. This is what I would advise for part 1. My next advice would be, do not sit down and put your head into this topic. So if you have understood this topic, awesome. If you have not understood this topic, please do not feel that without this topic you cannot pass CMA. You cannot without this topic. No, not at all. This topic is interesting. This topic is exciting. This topic is difficult. This topic is difficult. I appreciate and I accept this topic is difficult, but this is not the only topic in your syllabus. Don't get stuck to this topic. Most of the students, they get stuck to this topic and they feel demotivated just because of one topic. No, you cannot put so much pressure on yourself just because of one topic. My advice to you would be, come out from memorizing business and go to understanding business. You will understand this topic. Take it slow, take it one thing at a time. For example, talk about material variances today. Understand, have an excellent understanding of all material variances. Then go to labor variances. Understand labor variances in depth. You may take 1 day, you may take 2 days, it's okay. You may take 1 day, You may take 2 days. Okay. In fact, for material variances, even if you take 3 days, it's amazing. Because if you have understood material variances properly, it will help you understand labor. It will help you understand variable overhead. It will help you understand fixed overhead variances. Suppose this is a very complex topic, you need more time, no problem. Take up 1 day for this, 1 day for this, 1 day for this, 1 day for this. In 4 days, I am very confident. I'm very confident you will understand. Not happening? Okay. Add 3 more days, 7 days. In 7 days, can you understand? Answer is yes, you can. Provided you are not pushing yourself that, you need to finish it in 1 day. Don't push yourself to finish it in 1 day. It's a very, very complex topic to understand. All right, 7 days, give yourself time and you will understand. You will certainly understand. This is my advice for section A, strategy for your preparation. Follow this and it will help you. How about case study questions? I keep hearing from a lot of students, case study. Give me some tricks, give me some advice about case study. What to do? Let me tell you, if you have prepared your MCQs, properly, you have in-depth conceptual knowledge. All right, means you have not memorized things, but you have understood. You have in-depth conceptual knowledge. You have clarity of subject. Whatever you have studied, you have clarity about what you have studied, because you have not tried to use memory. You are almost 70% prepared for your case study questions. You are 70% prepared for your case study question. Take it in writing from me. Your MCQs are well prepared. You are doing good with your MCQs. You have in-depth conceptual knowledge, means your clarity of knowledge is quite good. You have not memorized things. You have understood things. And you have clarity of whatever you have studied overall. The entire subject knowledge is clear in your mind. Your 70%, in fact, I can confidently say 75% of your case study is already prepared. With NorthStar, I don't think this has ever been a challenge, because we solve approximately 200 plus case study questions. 200 plus case study questions we deal with. So not just 70 to 75%, which is always going to be the case. 200 plus case study questions. After handling such a huge number of questions, I'm certain you will never have that doubt if you are well prepared for case study questions. In fact, in addition to this, we give out CSQ book. We give out CSQ book for part 1 and we give out CSQ books for part 2, a special exclusive book for case study questions, wherein you can practice and solve many more case study questions in addition to whatever we are dealing with in the class. So these 2 case study question book helps a lot in getting that confidence, getting understanding, and getting. So why are you talking about having a conceptual clarity? Because what will come as a case study, I do not know. It is going to come from within the syllabus. Some subject matter facts will be given. Based on your overall understanding of the subject, you have to understand these facts and give your answer. That's a whole idea about this case study question. You have to understand the overall fact and then give your answers. So having an overall knowledge of the subject is important, because this case study question can be from any part of your book. Is it difficult? Answer is no, not at all. Why? Because if you have done these things, 70 to 75% case study, you are already ready. Suppose you did not prepare anything additionally for case study. You just know this much and you wrote just this much. Will you pass? Answer is yes. 100% you will pass if you have done these things properly without going exclusively for case study. You already know this much. You will pass the exam without much struggle. So that's my strategy. That's what I would advise you for part 1. Any question? Have you understood it? Found it useful? Can I have a yes or no? What are the job opportunities for this course in India? There is good job opportunity for this course, not just in India, but in most part of the world today. It's a very, very well accepted course, very well recognized. The amount of knowledge that you get is excellent. The amount of knowledge that you get is excellent. All right, that is exciting to know. That is exciting to know. If you have any question for part 1, you can put forward your question. I will be more than glad to help you. If you have any area that you think there are a lot of formulas, I'm finding it difficult to memorize those formulas. So can you help me with these formulas? I can help you. Maybe at the end, I can remember. How can you buy NorthStar book? We don't sell our books actually. Anything else? Any question that you have? Any particular topic that you think I should talk more? Please, you have 2 minutes. You can tell me and I can talk about it. Course fees. I will take you through the course fees. There's a group, WhatsApp group that you can add. You can join the WhatsApp group. And when is the next batch? I will talk about this. I will talk about this. When is the next batch and everything? I will talk about this. Course fees also I will talk about. Is there a MOU between CMA India and CMA USA? Yes, there was an MOU between CMA India and CMA USA, but that MOU has expired long back. All right, in 2018, 17, 18, that MOU had expired. So approximately 3-4 years it has expired. What's a WhatsApp group name? My colleague will put the WhatsApp group. And can I start now? And can I go to February window? Answer is yes. If you join now, you will be writing exam in February window only. I will talk about the batch, all that I will talk about it. But let me first talk about part 2 because it's a very, very important part. Most students prefer to write part 2 first because of reasons, many reasons that I have told, many reasons that they have discovered also. And my colleague will share the WhatsApp group link. You can join the WhatsApp group link. That's a very exciting group because you get to know every important thing about CMA that we may not be able to cover in this short webinar. Plus, at the same time, in this WhatsApp group, we are going to put out this detail. We are going to put out this CMA exam guide. So we are going to put out this document also in the WhatsApp group that you will be able to read, or you will be able to get complete information about the CMA. Sir, Becker or Gleim, which is better? Becker, like I said, Becker has written CMA book for the first time. In fact, there are many students who have gone to Becker, came back to us because see, anything that comes very new, it needs time to stabilize. It needs time to come up with better edition. It needs time. Becker is quite famous for CPA because it is one of the oldest content provider for CPA. Gleim is one of the oldest content provider for CMA. So when it comes to CMA, Gleim is the most popular publication in the world because this is the oldest publication for CMA. In fact, the first book that was published for CMA was published by Gleim in the world. So it's old, it's very recognized, it is very well reputed for CMA. In addition to this, we are going to give out this document, CMA exam guide, a system for success, which will have everything, exam pattern, which will have every detail that you want to know about CMA. This document is going to be very useful. We are going to put it in the WhatsApp group so that you can get access to this. Let me talk to you about part 2. Please discuss standard costing. I will help you understand standard costing. So I'm making different questions because I confused about CMA and CPA, which one is better. I know both are different, but then also you give a short idea. Definitely, I will give you a short idea. At the end, I will compare at least 5 courses. I will compare 5 courses to help all of you understand what is the right strategy if you want an excellent career in the world of finance and management accounting. I'm going to compare 5 courses and give you end-to-end details about each of these 5 courses so that you can take the wisest decision about your career. Will that help? Will that help? So if it will help, I will ensure that I provide you with this comparison, this comparative statement. Now, standard costing, I will certainly discuss, and I'll tell you what you can do about it. In case you have found it difficult, definitely I will talk about it. So, strategic financial management, CMA part 2, what all the syllabus are there. So, like I said, it has again 6 sections in it. It has 6 sections in it. Overall, this is the highest weighted section. So 25% of your entire syllabus is coming from decision analysis. Now, most of the people, they jump into part 2 and they're like, oh, so much to study, or what section, what speed to study. Remember, part 2, if you want to understand part 2 properly, the first and the most important thing you have to do is divide your part 2 into 2 parts. Divide your part 2 into 2 parts. Those parts which are dealt with decision, or coming from costing, and those parts which are finance. Those parts which are finance related topics. Those parts which are costing, these are independent topic you can study without any background. Entire background I will give. All right. Or if you don't have background, it's okay. Every faculty will give you some background and you will be able to understand this. But there are a lot of formulas in this. You have to learn how to memorize those formulas. Again, memory is something that I don't talk about, and I will never talk about memory in this topic. I will just never talk about. If you want to know how to memorize formulas for this topic, check out my YouTube video, wherein in 10 minutes you can memorize all the formulas related to this. All the formula you can memorize. No, you can understand all the formulas. My colleague can share you the lecture link for this, wherein you can understand all the formulas and remember them for life. If you want, I can tell you the trick how you can remember all the formulas in just 10 minutes. All the formulas. Next, if you are talking about finance, don't jump into these topics unless you know a concept called time value of money. Unless you know time value of money, don't jump into this topic. Many of you think that, you know, I can understand finance without having knowledge of time value of money. If you don't have this understanding, you will never understand finance properly. You may think you have understood, but it is not going to be understood. Second thing, understand ratio. Understand ratios. Don't try to memorize ratios. CMA will never test you on ratio based on your memory. It will test you on ratios based on your understanding of ratios, not on memory. So only 2 things you have to understand. Ratios needs to be understood and time value of money needs to be understood. If you have understood these 2, the entire part 2 except the costing part can be very, very peacefully understood. Sir, which all topic can I understand if I have good knowledge or good understanding of these 2? Let me tell you, entire section C is costing. So you can study this without having any past knowledge. Entire section C is costing. You can study. I will talk about many formulas in case you want to learn some of the formulas or many of the formulas of this topic. All right. So section C. Section B, you cannot understand unless you understand ratios. So ratio, if you have understood, section B will be easy. Time value of money, if you have understood, it is still going to help you. In section B, this topic is the most complicated topic called international finance. A lot of people get caught in that topic. Again, slowly you will have to take that topic of international finance. It needs to be taken very slowly because it's a very confusing topic. Working capital management, if you have understood ratio, it is going to be easy. Corporate restructuring, if you have understood ratio, you will understand it much better. Raising capital, again, if you have understood ratio, it will help you understand it little more detail. Risk and return is again coming from ratios. All these are coming from ratios. So first thing that you should do before starting anything is start with section C. Start with section C. It's a very important section. 25% of the syllabus will be completed if you start with section C. And it has just 3 topics. Topic 1, 2, and 3. Just 3 topics. No memory at all. No memory at all. Conceptual clarity is there. Formulas are there. Half of the formula I can teach you in 10-15 minutes and you are good to start this topic. About rest of the topic, I will always tell you, learn time value of money and ratios. Learn these 2 first. If you want to learn ratio first, go ahead. Learn ratio and start with this topic, this section A. And do not try to memorize ratios. This is the biggest blunder people do. Do not try to memorize the ratio. Not even one ratio you have to memorize. Understand the ratios. Understand how ratios behave. Understand what changes the ratio or what does not change the ratio. Understand this. I will take you through 5 minutes of session and tell you how ratios behave. 5 minutes of session today only and tell you how does ratios behave. Once you have done this, then you can go in any order. Section E cannot be understood unless you have understood time value of money. Unless you have understood time value of money, it cannot be understood. My advice would be, after understanding ratios, understand time value of money. Unfortunately, in your entire syllabus, time value of money is not covered. Unfortunately, it is just not covered. It is not there in your syllabus at all, because it is presumed that you know this time value of money. It is presumed. And unfortunately, most students forget to learn this separately. Either institute forget to teach you separately, or you also forget to learn it separately because you believe this is not there in the syllabus. Why should I know this? If you do not know time value of money, capital budgeting cannot be understood. Not possible. It is not possible to understand capital budgeting without time value of money concept being clear in your mind. It is not possible to understand some part of this. It is here, you don't need time value of money, but if you know it, it is going to be good for you. You don't need in-depth knowledge of time value of money, but if you know it, it is good for you. Section E, there is no time value of money. Topic itself is not. And if you have not studied, you are not going to. CMA assumes that you know, that is why it is not there in the syllabus. So please learn time value of money and then come back to section E. It will be easy. In simple word, your entire section part 2 deals around 2 concepts: ratios and time value of money. That's all. That's all is entire part 2. Plus little of costing, which is there here, little of costing, which is here, and little of professional ethics, which is here, which is theoretical. Again, professional ethics, what is the strategy that you should adopt is one topic, 2 pages, 3 pages, every day, one page, you should add. If you sit down and start reading all this section F together, you are going to definitely fall into deep sleep. You are going to get awesome sleep. The moment you open this book, it is little boring and you will fall asleep. My advice would be, do not jump into section F directly. Take up 1122 pages, 1122 pages, 1122 pages, mix it with other sections, mix it with other topics. If you are able to mix it properly, you will never realize the pressure of handling section F. Section F is the only section in your entire part 1 and part 2 syllabus where I say use memory. Use your memory. Only in section F I suggest using memory, because these are ethics. These needs to be memorized. And since this is the only section where I need memory, it's not too much that I have been asking for. In section F, Business ethics is something that you need to, it's a little boring, dry. Professional ethics is again little boring and dry. Ethical consideration is not so boring. But first two are little boring. In business ethics and professional ethics, particularly in professional ethics, there is some memory that you have to handle. My advice is understand, remember one point one day. Every day, just memorize 1 point. Every day, just 1 point. In 10 days, you will remember 10 points. You will not forget. But if you keep section F at the end, you will have to memorize everything together. That will put pressure. That will put pressure. So 10 to 15 points are there to be memorized. 10 to 15 points, not more than that. Trust me, not more than that. That much is only there to memorize it. Take up every day 1 point. The moment you wake up or the moment you sit down to study, just decide 1 point I'm going to memorize and then I'm going to start my study. Or the moment you are ending your study, remember that all the point that you have memorized, I'm going to revise it. I'm just going to revise it once more. Revise it once more. How to revise it? Just speak out again or write it down once again. One point, write it down. This is the best way. This is the only section which are tested on the basis of memory as well as understanding. Both on memory as well as understanding. Very important area for case study question. Very, very important area for case study question. You can expect case study question from section, a very, very, very important area. All right, so this is my strategy. Enterprise risk is a very small section, smallest of all section. Even if it is boring, it is dry, it is 10%. How many pages are there? Hardly 10 pages are there. Hardly 10 pages are there in this section. Hardly 10 pages are there. Can you take up this section and finish it at the way you want? Answer is hardly 10 pages are there. 10% marks is there. Why not? You should go for it. You should go for it. In fact, compared to 10% here and 10% here, here you have a lot more to study. You have a lot more to study compared to this. So my advice would be take up this seriously. All right. So again, pattern remains same. MCQ question. If you have prepared really, really well for MCQ questions, case study questions are done. If you have prepared really, really, really well, that's all. Your case study should not be like scaring you, because case study questions are going to be from within the MCQ questions only. Just that your knowledge has to be little in depth to understand and handle the case study. It's not going to be something out of the box. That's all for the exam preparation, the strategy, the tricks that I want to tell you. In addition, there is a very, very important document that that I will take you through at the end here, the exam hack doc. I will take you through the end, wherein I have written about all the hacks that you should do. That's my photo actually. All the hacks that you should do to 7 hacks to answer all 100 MCQ questions. Then there are 7 more hacks that you can adopt to answer all case study questions. So can I know, does that help? Does that help? I will also at the end talk about how to remember formulas, that as well. Plus there are many new students who are not very aware about the CMA details, how to prepare, what strategy to adopt, how to register. I will take a small session for them as well. But I want all of you to be there, because at the end I'm going to take you through at least two topics and make you memorize many formulas in just 10 minutes, which will be very, very useful, very, very useful in studying part 1 and part 2. Some of the very important formulas I'm going to talk. What is MCQ? There is nothing called MSQ, that is MCQ, multiple choice questions. Any question, guys? Can I have a yes or no if that helped you? At least you know where to start, how to proceed, how to continue. If you want me to cover anything else, please do let me know. If I have time, I'll certainly touch upon them. How many MCQs will be there? 100 MCQ questions will be there. Can you explain marking scheme? I will take you through this. I'll take you through a very small presentation. I'll take you through a very small presentation which will help you understand everything about CMA. Maybe in another 5 to 10 minutes, I'll take you through this presentation and it will help you understand this. So CMA USA is one of the most approved, most recognized program in the world today. It is called Certified Management Accountant. It is regulated by Institute of Management Accountants USA. Some of the existing students may be aware about all this, but in the best interest of everybody, let me take you through this. And then I will talk about the comparison of 5 different courses. I will also talk about some formulas that you may remember. Now, why CMA? Because it's the highest level of certification in management accounting in the world today. It has a very good global recognition. It has a better success rate and it gives you a better recognition, which helps you on better salary. It is one of the shortest professional course in the world today, which has excellent recognition. What is management accounting? Management accounting is much more broader and in-depth than financial accounting. In financial accounting, we talk about, income statement, balance sheet. In management accounting, we talk about budgeting, we talk about variance analysis, we talk about pricing, we talk about decision making, and we also talk about financial accounting. So management accounting is much more in-depth because here we deal with accounting for the company's management. So anything and everything we need to do reporting and accounting for their decision-making needs. Career, it has a very vast career. You can grow in the field of decision making. You can grow to VP finance. You can start your career as a financial analyst and grow on to sky is the limit. Syllabus, I have told you, 6 sections, part 1 and part 2. How to become a CMA? You can register with IMA either directly or through somebody like us, NorthStar, and we will help you register. There are 2 modules that we suggest. There is a self-study module wherein you can study on your own. Everything you can study on your own at your own pace. The entire lecture is recorded for self-learning. There are tests, there are MCQ questions, there are case study questions. Everything you can study at your own pace. All right, sir, I have already registered with some other institute. Can I join NorthStar? How do you suggest? We have a program wherein we invite, or there are many students from other institutes who join us, and we give them some kind of a support to ensure that their entire cost does not become substantially high. So we have all that program to support students who have already registered but are not able to scale it through, are not able to succeed. We have all that options to support you. Don't worry about that. So you can go for a self-study or you can go for a live interactive coaching for comprehensive course wherein everything will be covered in depth, in great length. 500 plus MCQ questions, 500 plus MCQ questions for each part, 100 plus case study questions for each part will be covered for you. CMA is has a very flexible exam window. You can write the exam in January and February. Any day of your choice, you can write the exam. Similarly, May, June, any day of your choice, you can write the exam. September, October, any day of your choice, you can write the exam. So it is a very flexible exam window. You want to write exam on 31st of January, you can write the exam on this day. Any day of your choice within this approximately 60 days, approximately 60 days you get. You can write the exam in any of these 60 days. So it's a very flexible exam. It does not clash with any of the priorities commitment that you have. CMA, you need to be certified to after passing. So there are 3 things in CMA. First is CMA exam. All right, first thing is CMA exam. You can write the exam immediately after your class 12. After your class 12, you are eligible to write the exam. All right. So can I write the exam in my first year? Answer is most students opt to join CMA while they are in their college. That's the best time to join CMA. If you are working professionals or if you're passed out of your college, you can write the exam after that also. But the minimum qualification, you should be class 12 passed out. Is it an online exam? Answer is it's a complete online exam wherein you need to go to an exam center which is located in all major cities in India. All major cities have exam centers in India. After passing the exam, you get 7 years. You get 7 years to get CMA certification. To get CMA certification. What is important? Passing the exam is the most important thing, because once you have passed the exam, you can write yourself as CMA in your resume. All right, you can write the CMA in your resume. CMA certification, it is an additional procedural requirement that you can fulfill within next 7 years. Means if you have passed CMA in 2022 plus 7 years, you can fulfill the eligibility for certification by 2029. What are the things? You should be a graduate by 2029. You should have completed your graduation by 2029, and you should have 2 years of work experience. 2 years of work experience by 2029. All right, 2 years of work experience in the field of, in relevant field, management, accounting, finance, in that field. By when? By 2029. All right, so that is this. Over the year, NorthStar has taught hundreds and thousands of students for CMA. We have received various awards. We received a Best Training Institution Award in the year 2020. We received a Best Emerging Education Institute Award in the year 2017. Many more to go. We have been able to produce hundreds and hundreds of CMA students. We have been able to train students from not just in India, but 34 plus countries. If you attend any of our online batches, you'll find students from 34 plus countries, including of course every different part of India. You think of a city and we have a student from every different part of India. We have students from UAE, we have students from Saudi Arabia, we have students from Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. We have students from England, Ireland, USA, Greece, Australia, Canada. We have students from almost every major countries in the world, because the course itself is global. It attracts students from various parts of the world. We have been able to do this because we provide a free basic course wherein we train you for entire basics of CMA before we actually begin with the CMA course. In addition to this, we provide a comprehensive training covering 100 plus case study questions, covering 500 plus MCQ questions for each part. Means in total, we are going to cover 200 plus case study questions and 1000 plus MCQ questions in the entire course. It helps you prepare properly. Not just that, we provide NorthStar Studies own study material. There's a new edition of the study material coming up for 2022 very shortly. So 2022 edition of the study material is also going to be launched very shortly. It's very beautifully written. In fact, in the words of some of our students who come from chartered accountants background, who are CAs or who are CA finals, they have told me that these books are written much better than Wiley and Becker. They have told me that these books have been written much better than Wiley and Becker. If you don't trust me, take up Wiley book, read them and read this book. Take up Becker and read them and read this book. You will certainly have exactly same opinion. Why? Because in Wiley, for example, if I tell there are 100 pages of content written and then there are questions. After reading 100 pages of content, there are MCQ questions. You would have forgotten what you studied. You would have just forgotten what you studied. Or there are 20 pages of content and then there are questions. It's written like that. Here, there there is a content concept. Based on this concept, there is an MCQ question, there is a case study question. Again, there is a concept. There is an MCQ question, there is a case study question based on what concept you just read. So each time you are reading a concept, you are solving an MCQ question. Each time you are reading a new concept, you are solving a case study question. So your concept learning and concept absorbing, understanding is almost simultaneous. You don't have to wait for studying the entire topic and then take up question. Take up one topic, small topic, take up question, small topic, take up question, small topic, take up question. If you want, I can take you through how the entire material looks like. Concept questions, concept question, it is always going to be like that. We are the only one in the world. We are the only institute in the world which launched the pocket classroom concept, because we wanted to make learning very, very easy. So entire content, your books, your material, your soft copy, your videos, your test, your question bank, your MCQs, everything can be accessed in your mobile phone. All that you need is a headphone. That's it. Can you attend live lectures in your mobile phone, computers, desktop? Answer is yes, you can attend. In addition, you can also attend in our mobile application as well. Not just that, you don't need internet to study. You can download all our content and study without the internet as well. So every content can be made offline. Even if you don't have internet, you can study without internet. Be always exam ready. With the number of tests that we put, you will always be exam ready. You can write the exam anytime, because the amount of tests that you are going to be answering while you are in the class. So each topic has a test, each section has a test, each part has many tests. So while you are writing, you will always be exam ready. Not just that, you will also be able to see how you have performed, because in the NSA scoreboard, you will be able to see how your performance have improved in day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, how your performance have improved. You will be able to see through the NSA scoreboard, which will monitor all your marks that you have scored. 100% syllabus coverage. We are going to provide 100% syllabus coverage, not leaving anything to self-study or something. Entire syllabus will be covered. Your lectures will cover everything. You will have a self-study lecture in addition to the live online class lecture. So you will have a live classes, and in addition to live classes, you will also get complete self-study module also. So in case you miss out any live classes, you can revise all that in self-study mode as well. All right. So not just that, we provide end-to-end support with regard to your admission, registration, exam booking, your placements, everything NorthStar will be taking care of. About, like I told you, after class 12, you can do it. Now, question answer round. If you have any questions, I'll be more than glad to help you with questions. But in addition to question, I would want you to save these numbers. You may need us today, you may need us tomorrow, you may need us anytime in life. We will always be glad to help you. So you can save this number in your mobile phone, and you can do this. That's not a WhatsApp group that we have put. I think, Sachin, what is that WhatsApp group you have put? Please don't put, let's restrict ourselves. Padma, can you please take care? Our group link, okay. Please mention some comment about the group link so that we are all comfortable about the group link. Because sometime we may land up joining some other group for example, CA, we may land up joining. Placement takes here immediately after the exam. Self-study and recorded is one and the same. self-study and recorded one on the same. Is there an offline class? All our classes are international batch. The current batch is international batch, and it runs across the world. It runs across the world, so it is completely live interactive online. It is live interactive online. It is much more engaging than live classes, offline classes, because offline classes run for 5 hours at a stretch. Online classes happen only for 2 hours. So online classes are much more engaging because it's shorter. It is shorter, and it is much more engaging than, you know, sitting for 5 hours continuously. How many hours class will happen for part 1 and part 2? So part 1 and part 2 together, part 1 and part 2 together will be 150 plus hours of classes. 150 plus hours of classes. All right. What is the highest CTC? There was a student who was offered a good salary. I don't want to mention the exact number because, but she dropped it, and she wanted to pursue her further studies. So she dropped it and she went for MBA. So she was the one who was offered the highest salary. But she did not accept the offer because she thought that pursuing MBA was a better choice, and she went ahead and joined for MBA. In class, it will be taken which part? It will always be part 2. It will always be part 2 that will be taken first. Always part 2 that will be taken first. So next batch is going to start from the 1st of November. 1st of November 2021. This batch is for the January-February exam. This batch is for the January-February exam. Any guidebooks for CMA? You can go for GLIME. That's an amazing book. You will certainly enjoy this book completely, or you can go with NorthStar Academy books. But unfortunately, NorthStar Academy books are not sold out to other than our students. If you want to take part 1, you can go for self-study. That's the best way. That's the best way. You can go for self-study. Let me take you through some important areas in case you want to know about fees and everything. In case you want to know about fees and everything, let me take you through some important area, and then I will talk about some more things, formulas, how to remember. Maybe 15 minutes of learning session we can have. So IMA, CMA, the total cost of CMA. The total cost of CMA, it comprises of CMA, IMA membership, then entrance fees, and last one is exam fees. So the total cost becomes $849 for a student. Student means who are undergraduate or postgraduate program, who are undergoing undergraduate or postgraduate program. For a professional, it is $1,325. So for a student, it is for a student who is in undergraduate or postgraduate first year, second year, or for a professional, it is $1,325. This is an IMA fees which you need to pay to IMA. In addition to IMA fees, there is a GLIME books cost also. GLIME books, you can purchase GLIME books directly on your own, or you can go to GLIME website and you can purchase it. So glime.com, you can go and purchase the books on your own for CMA, for CPA, for CIA, for many publications. They publish book. For CMA, they are one of the world's most recognized. So the cheapest version of the books comes for $999. All right. So in addition to the IMA fees, $999 is towards the GLIME books and GLIME material. So in total, it costs you $849 plus $999. It costs you $1,848, and here $1,325 plus $999. It becomes $2,324. In addition, we offer for all student category, because they are studying They don't know when they will be able to write the exam because of college schedule and because a lot of other challenges. So what we do is we add three years of membership. So it is $39 for 1 year membership. We add 2 years more membership so that they are having. Don't worry, I'm going to make a huge reduction in the total fees because I'm going to make it much more affordable for you. In addition, if I multiply with 76, that is the exchange rate, approximately exchange rate for dollars. So 1926 multiplied by 76, it becomes 146376. And here 2324 into 76, so 176624. So this is the total fees for IMA and GLAM book, not for our coaching. If I add our training fees, it is 49,900 and 49,900. That is our training fees for CMA. So it becomes how much? But don't worry, I'm going to provide you with huge discount option today for the batch starting for tomorrow's batch 276. So this is the total cost of doing CMA. But with NorthStar, there is a bundle discount that we are offering today. There's a bundle discount that we are offering. So in that bundle discount, your total cost of doing CMA, the total cost, listen to this very carefully because it can never get cheaper than this. The total cost of IMA and books, IMA and GLAM is 146,376. 146,376. With NorthStar, we are going to provide you at 126,900. Along with our training fees, we are going to provide you at 126,900, not at this. Means if you go directly and register yourself in IMA and buy books on your own, you are going to pay this much fees. If you are going through NorthStar, you are going to pay this much along with books, IMA fees, membership fees, entrance fees, exam fees, and NorthStar training fees, mobile application, NorthStar material, NorthStar question bank, everything together. It's still going to be much cheaper than this. Similarly, for a professional, without NorthStar, it is going to be this much. With NorthStar, it is going to be 1,49,900. So this is the amount that you need to pay. So there's a huge discount that you can see that we have put on this. So there is 69,376 rupees as discount, bundle discount, and here 76,624 as discount. Can you opt for installment? Answer is yes. You can go for an interest-free installment. You can go for an interest-free installment wherein you don't need to pay any interest. You can go for 6 months installment, interest-free installment, which will have a one-time processing fees. Just a one-time processing fees will be there of 2,500 rupees. This is a one-time processing fees. There will be no interest on this at all. And you can make a application, NSA application. How much is the application fees? So application fees is 10,000 rupees. You can make a 10,000 application fees to be eligible for this offer of this webinar. To be eligible for this offer for this webinar, this includes everything that you need to pay to become eligible for this. All right, this includes everything. This includes everything that you need to pay, including books, including training, including your GLAM books, software, mobile application, online classes, everything it includes. IMA fees, membership fees, entrance fees, examination fees, it includes everything. Do you need to pay $1 more than this? Forget $1. You don't need to pay 1 rupee more than this. All right, except if government says, you need to pay taxes tomorrow for some legislation change, of course the government says taxes, then some taxes may come, otherwise nothing more than this. So that is the offer for the November batch, which is starting tomorrow. So anything that more if you want to know, please do let me know. I will share this document with all of you. GLIME 40th edition. I'm going to share this document with all of you. CMA exam guide, so that you can get more information, whatever I may have missed out. Anything more you want me to cover, because we have ran out of time? Almost we have ran out of time. Padma, anything you want me to talk about which I may have missed? Price for the self-study package, you can connect to office and please join the WhatsApp group, and they will tell you self-study package. It is much more affordable. It is much more affordable for all of you. It is going to be much more price efficient. So you don't need to invest anything much. And if you have joined already some other institute, but you are not happy for various reasons, you can always rely on us, and we will certainly prove and tell you that CMA can be really exciting. About the class timings are 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. 11 p.m. Indian Standard Time. 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Indian Standard Time. This is the class timings. Now, if you want to register for CPA, do you need to register separately? Answer is yes, you need to register separately. Let me take you through CMA and CPA. And so remember, whatever is the syllabus for CMA, for CPA, 40% of the syllabus is common. 40% of the syllabus is common. Is it at night? Classes are at night? Answer is yes. It is 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. All right. So it is night only, p.m. post meal, in case PM means that fine, Prime Minister. So anyway, so CMA and CPA. CMA and CPA has 40% syllabus in common. If you look at subjects like FAR, if you look at subjects like BEC, all right, if you look at these two subjects particularly, everything is covered in whatever is there from CPA. These two papers are from CPA. It is also covered in CMA. So 40% of the syllabus is common. The new two papers will be your REG reg paper. Regulation paper is a new paper for CPA, which you may not have studied in CMA, and odd paper is going to be little new for you in CPA, because these are not covered in CMA in detail. So these two papers are going to be new, but otherwise these two papers are covered in CPA as well. So that's a similarity in CMA and CPA. You can opt for ideally, I always recommend go for CMA first, pass the exam, and then go for CPA or go for ACCA. This is very interesting. Let me spend 5 more minutes on this. If you have passed your CMA exam, you can go for CPA, or there is an integrated program that we offer, which is integrated with BCom or BBA, MCom or MBA. This is an integrated program that we offer in collaboration with Jain University. All right, in collaboration with Jain University, that we offer this integrated program. In this integrated program, any student who has joined us for CMA plus any of these 4 courses, CMA plus any of these courses, the moment they pass their CMA, exam, we give them 9 paper exemption. We give them 9 paper exemption in ACCA. 9 paper exemption in ACCA. Most interesting part is 9 paper exemption comes up with exemption fees. You have to pay exemption fees of approximately 1 lakh rupees for these 9 paper exemption. Approximately 1 lakh rupees it comes. With NorthStar, this entire 1 lakh rupees is going to be waived off for you. You don't have to pay this fees to ACCA. This fees has to be paid to ACCA. But if you have joined through NorthStar, you will not be required to pay this fees to ACCA. So you will save flat 1 lakh rupees and you will be completing your CMA, and 9 papers of ACCA will be exempted. You need to write just 4 papers of ACCA. So imagine 2 papers of CMA plus 4 papers of ACCA. You have become a CMA, you have become an ACCA, and you have become a BCom, BBA, or MCom and MBA. All these programs are provided through Jain University, and these are all online programs. All right, Jain University, if you want to do research, they are A+ as per NAC reporting. As per NAC, they are A+, means they are one of the topmost universities of India. What is the integrated course fees? For integrated course fees, you need to connect to office, and they will be able to help you with the integrated course fees. All right, they are a NAC accredited college, and they are A+, means one of the topmost universities of India. So that is another program that we offer. We have a lot of integrated program with CMA, with ACCA, with CPA. We have a lot of integrated programs wherein you can pursue. But the moment you pass your CMA, you get 9 paper exemption. That's exciting. That's exciting. Can you join ACCA for your academy after CMA? Answer is yes. You can join for ACCA after CMA or while pursuing CMA. Both are possible. Both are possible. All right, guys, that's all I have. I wish I had time to tell you some formulas, teach you some formulas, but I will tell you one YouTube link that you can go through. Padma, can you share the YouTube link for costing? Maybe you can go through this YouTube link, which will help you understand some concepts in standard costing, some concepts in because we have just ran out of time. There is a lecture. There is another channel that I run for CA students particularly. There's a video called Standard Costing here. Maybe you can go through this lecture. It will help you understand in depth about standard costing. I have taught many formulas, many techniques, how to remember those formulas. I have taught all that in this video. So this is a video for standard costing. This is for MI classes, but the topic is same. You can go through in case you want. But most importantly, that I want you to go through is this particular video about costing. This particular video about costing. Let me just take you through CVP analysis that is there. 1 minute. I will just take you through one very, very interesting. Yes, this video. Padma, can you please put this video's link? Yes, this video you can go wherein I will teach you many tricks about formula in CVP analysis that you can remember. Very, very interesting video. Hardly just 10 minutes or 15 minutes video, and you will know lot of formulas. So you can go through this video and you will understand or remember a lot of formulas here. So once you pass the exam, certification is provided by NorthStar, by IMA. So once you have passed the exam, the entire certification program is provided by NorthStar, by IMA. You can connect to me on LinkedIn because that's a very, very important platform wherein we can discuss things, we can talk about things. If you have any career guidance issues, I conduct a lot of webinars on career development, on calculator shortcuts, on many topics. I conduct a lot of webinars. Maybe we can connect on LinkedIn so that you can be updated for our next webinar and for next and anything that you may need in the world of finance and management accounting. I will be definitely available to help you guide better. Thank you so much for connecting. I'm so sorry for not having the time to take you through some very, very interesting formulas. But maybe in the upcoming webinar, I will certainly host a webinar wherein we will talk about a lot of formulas and tricks to understand and remember those formulas without using memory. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for connecting. Hope you found this webinar very interesting, exciting, and it was able to add value. It gave you the right strategy that you can follow to pursue this. You can connect me on LinkedIn and we can talk it further. Please join the WhatsApp group, because there is where this document will be shared and you will certainly find it very, very useful. I just ran out of time. Otherwise, I could have taken you through a lot more exciting things. Thank you so much for joining this webinar. We'll shortly see you in the class. Till then, bye-bye. Take care and have a great day. Stay safe. Thank you.